Hello viewers, myself Dr. Preeti Jagwani. I welcome you all for CEC lectures. So today's topic is 01 knapsack problem, which is basically falls under the umbrella of dynamic programming. So first of all, let us understand what is dynamic programming. Although we have covered this dynamic programming topic in quite detail in our previous lectures, so here I am just taking a brief of that dynamic programming, what actually that dynamic programming is. So basically it is an algorithmic technique among many of the techniques available to solve problems under the domain of algorithms. Like we have divide and conquer techniques, we have iterative techniques, and we have many more. So similarly we have dynamic programming. What are the features of the problem which can be solved using this dynamic programming are basically two features are under concern. One is overlapping subproblems, another one is optimal substructure. So overlapping subproblems basically says there are some subproblems which can be solved or which are needed to be solved again and again in a repetitive manner, while optimal substructure says that there is a problem which can be further divided into subproblems, and the solutions to those subproblems will be combined in a manner to construct the solution for the larger or the problem as a whole. So the application or the problem which is having these two features or these two characteristics, one is optimal substructure and another one is overlapping subproblems. The problems having these two characteristics are the most suitable problems which can be solved using dynamic programming. So dynamic programming, when we talk about optimal substructure, it sounds like divide and conquer approach, but divide and conquer approach is a bit different from dynamic programming, and the problems which can be solved using brute force technique or brute force algorithm, those may have exponential complexity, and those problems if fall under the umbrella of dynamic programming, if we solve using those problems using dynamic programming technique, we will find a reduction in complexity from maybe you can say exponential time to some polynomial time. So from brute force exponential time we will come to dynamic programming polynomial time reduction in complexity. So this is what dynamic programming is in a nutshell, we can say. Coming to our today's topic, which is 01 knapsack problem. So basically we have already seen what actually a knapsack problem is and what are the versions available and of this knapsack problem. So knapsack problem is we have been given some weights and values of n items, and we need to put these items in a knapsack whose capacity is fixed and is generally denoted by capital W, and the idea is we need to have maximum total value in the knapsack, but our total weight should not exceed the capacity of knapsack. So under this knapsack problem there are basically two versions available. One is fractional knapsack problem, another one is 01 knapsack problem. I will be coming to these two versions in a brief in a moment. Now let us consider, according to the definition of general knapsack problem, we have two integer arrays. One is representing the value of n items, so we can say well starting from 0 to n minus 1, and we have weight starting from 0 to n minus 1, which represents the weight of n items under consideration. We need to find out the maximum value subset of that well array such that sum of its weight of this subset is either smaller or equals to 0. So this is, you can say, a general knapsack problem is. But here if we are looking for a 0-1 knapsack problem, so 0-1 knapsack problem goes with a constraint which says that you will be either picking the whole item or you will not pick at all, while fractional knapsack problem gives you the liberty of taking parts of a particular item, which are you can say fractions of a particular item. Here if we are talking about 0-1 knapsack problem, we will not be able to take a particular item in parts or in fractions, either we will take it or we will drop it. So this is what you call 0-1 property, and when we introduce this 0-1 property along with knapsack problem, the problem is more commonly known as 0-1 knapsack problem. Now coming to the solution, if we talk about fractional knapsack problem, which we have already seen into quite details in our previous lectures, we are aware of that greedy algorithm is used to solve the fractional knapsack problem, and the strategy is to choose maximum profit. And how are we going to get maximum profit? Maximum profit will be the ratio of value or price, whatever by whatever means you denote it. Price or value when divided by weight is going to give you the profit ratio. So we will be maximizing, we will be taking the items which are giving us maximum profit. So let us consider one example which says capital W, which is the capacity of knapsack, is equals to, let's say, 60 units or 60 kgs you can say, and we have three items A, B and C, whose price is 100, 280 and 120 respectively, and weights are 10, 40, 20 respectively. Coming to the ratio of price by weight, which we can say or value by weight, which we can say is the profit ratio. We can say for A it is going to be 100 by 10 is 10, for B it is 280 by 40 which is 7, similarly for C that ratio comes to 6. Now coming to the fractional knapsack problem, which is solved by greedy algorithm. Applying the greedy algorithm on this, will say that first of all you pick item A because its ratio is maximum. So the moment I am going to pick item A, its weight is 10 and I am left with weight is equals to 50 because 10 weight has been exhausted or has been captured with item A. So capacity left in your knapsack is 60. Now coming to picking the next item by the decreasing order of its profit ratio. Among B and C we will be taking B because its ratio is 7 as compared to 6, which is obviously higher. So I will be taking the item B. After taking item B, its weight is 40 and earlier we have also taken A. So 10 plus 40 is going to give you 50, and the moment we want to take our last item C, we will not be able to take it because it is having, you can say, the ratio as 6. So basically greedy approach says first you need to select item A, then next item B is chosen, and hence the total profit is going to be 100 plus 280 is 380. However, here the optimal solution can be achieved by selecting items B and C, where total profit will be 280 plus 120, which is equals to 400, and in this way the capacity will also be, we can say, kind of maximized. So 40 plus 20 is 60, which is the maximum capacity of our knapsack. So here we will be going by this solution. This is the optimal solution, but if we go by fractional kind of fractional knapsack problem, which can be solved by a greedy algorithm, that greedy approach is failing here. So we can say in this situation, in this kind of situation, there is no optimal solution by greedy approach. So finally we can say, when there is no optimal solution by greedy approach, we need a dynamic programming approach. So dynamic programming approach, the same problem statement can be represented in the form of a story, that a thief is let's say robbing a store, and it is he or she is allowed to carry a maximal weight of capital W into his bag, into his knapsack. There are n items with weight of ith item as Wi, small wi, and the profit of selecting this item is going to be Pi. So here we are directly talking about in terms of profit, what item should the thief take in order to maximize the value of his knapsack. So coming to the solution which is based on the dynamic programming strategy, we will number the item. Let I be the highest number item in an optimal solution. Optimal solution here is denoted by S, and we will say S dash is equals to S minus I will be the optimal solution for W minus Wi, and the value to the solution S is Vi plus the value of the subproblem. So basically this statement means that let's say we have optimal solution S. So if we are taking the this optimal solution and deducting the item I from that particular solution, we need to deduct the weight of that particular item I from the total weight, and the value of the solution S is Vi plus the value of the subproblem, because we are still left with the subproblem which is not considering ith item. So here we can say we have been given a maximum weight W, number of items n, and there are two sequences, or we can say two arrays V1, V2 up to Vn, representing the value of these items, and W2 Wn representing the weights of these items. And for the solution, we will be defining an two-dimensional array, which is we can represent it by C I comma W with these inputs. Now the set of items to take can be deduced from the table, starting at reduced from that array or table, starting at C n comma W and tracking backward where the optimal values come from. So basically we will be drawing a 2D array, and then we will be filling that 2D array, and in order to trace the complete solution, we need to trace that 2D array in the backward direction, and soon we will be seeing this whole process with the help of a complete example. Now there can be two solutions. Let us two situations. Let us consider an ith item. So if whether we will be considering that ith item to be taken, or we will consider that ith item not to be taken. So if when item I is not the part of the solution, is not the part of the knapsack, that means we are not going to take that I. We will continue with C I minus 1, because for that particular I we have already decided that we are not going to take that I, and the weight is still as left as W. Otherwise, if item I is the part of the solution, that means we have decided that to take that I, or we have decided for that I to include that into the knapsack. We will continue tracing with C I minus 1, where I minus 1 represent the number of items which are still to be considered, and what weight we are left with is actually W minus capital W minus small w I. So capital W minus small wi says capital W is the capacity, while you have taken the ith item, that means within that bag you have actually exhausted the capacity Wi, we can say, and then whatever capacity we are left with is actually W minus Wi, and with how many items we need to fill it, we can fill it with maximum I minus one item, because one item or the first item under consideration we have already included in this. So this can be again, we can see that either we will take the item under consideration or we will not take it. If we are going to take the item, that means one item is already in the bag and bag is having some capacity left. But if we are talking about let us say that item is not to be taken. So in case of not to be taken, what items under consideration are left are I minus 1, because 1 is already rejected based on some reasons, and but as that particular item has not been included into the knapsack W knapsack, so its capacity still remains as W. So that capital W we need to fill in. Now let us consider this whole scenario with the help of an example. So we have a knapsack of capacity 5 kg, and for the optimal solution we need 0-1 knapsack problem, and definitely here we are going to use our dynamic programming approach. So considering these 4 items, we are being given 4 items along with their weight and value. For item number 1, the weight is 2, value is 3. For 2 it is 3 and 4 respectively, for 3 it is 4 and 5, and for 4 it is 5 and 6. So this is what the data has been given, in which the knapsack capacity is 5 and the number of items n is equals to 4. So these 4 items we need to carry in the capacity, carry in the knapsack with the restricted capacity not to be increased beyond 5 kgs, and we need to maximize our profit obviously. So for this, under dynamic programming we are going to draw a table, let us say that table as T. Now what will be the dimensions of that table? Number of rows will be actually n plus 1, which is the items plus 1. Here it is 4 plus 1 as 5, and number of columns is actually capital W plus 1, which is 5 plus 1. So 5 plus 1 is 6. So with W plus 1 columns and n plus 1 rows, we are going to make a particular table, and we are going to fill the boxes of the 0th row and 0th column all as 0, and then by applying one formula we will be filling this table completely. And after filling this table completely in the manner row wise, which goes from top to bottom and from left to right, we will be filling it, and finally the last cell is going to give us our answer. So here we will be what formula we are going to take in order to fill this particular table is I comma jth cell, which is T I comma j, is going to give you will be given by max of either T I minus 1 j or the value of I plus T I minus 1 j minus weight of I. So here we have two quantities, one is T I minus 1 comma j, another quantity is value of I plus T I minus 1 j minus weight. So if you can see very closely, the first term says that ith item is not being included, and the second term says that ith item is being included, so its value is actually added into the final we can say final its value is added into the cell which is T I minus 1 j minus weight of I. So first first term says we have discarded ith item, we are not going to include it. So what are we left with is I minus 1 items, and as we have discarded, we have not included it, the weight is same, which is j. While if we are going to take that ith item, we need to include its value, because that part we have already covered. What are the items, or how many items are left under consideration, is obviously I minus 1, but as we have included that item I into its knapsack, so obviously some of the capacity it has taken, so which is represented by j minus weight of I. So this is the formula, and we will be taking maximum of 2 quantities, and by taking this formula we will start filling our table. So let us consider T1 comma 1. So here I is equals to 1 and j is equals to 1. So value of 1, which is value of I, is 3. Weight of I is weight of 1 is 2. And when we substitute the values in the formulas, we are going to get T11 is equals to max of T 1 minus 1 comma 1, max of T1, max of T01 comma 3 plus T of 0 comma minus 1. Now T of 0 comma minus 1, there is no such value in our table. So we will make it understood that, or we will be careful here, that whenever we are talking about a value whose indexes are negative, we will be ignoring the whole term. So in order to ignore the whole term, we need to ignore 3 plus T 0 minus 1. This is being included, and we are left with T1 comma 1 is nothing but max of T 0 comma 1. So max of T 0 comma 1 is T 0 comma 1, which is nothing but 0, because 0 comma 1 is 0, and that is the we can say the cell which is already filled in. So T1 comma 1 has gotten a value of 0. Coming to the next column in the same row, because I have already told that we will be going row wise from left to right and then from top to bottom. So we will be filling up the first row, and then we will jump to the second one. So here we have I is equals to 1, j is equals to 2, value of 1 is 3, weight of 1 is 2. This can be verified from the table given in the top. Then we will be substituting the values, and we will get T of 1 comma 2 is equals to max of T 0 comma 2 and 3 plus T 0 0. So T 0 0 in any case is 0, 0 comma 2 is also 0. So we will ultimately have here max of 0 comma 3 plus 0, that is max of 0 comma 3 is nothing but 3. So we have T12 to be filled as 3. Coming to T13, T13 we have I is equals to 1, j is equals to 3, value of 1 is 3, weight of 1 is 2. Whenever we substitute these values, we have T1 comma 3 is equals to max T 0 comma 3 comma 3 plus T 0 comma 1. So we need to find max of T 0 comma 3 and T 0 comma 1 plus 3. So the maximum the values here are, we will be finding max of 0 plus 3 comma 0, because T 0 comma 1 is 0, and we will ultimately have T1 comma 3 as 3. Coming to T1 comma 4, we will be in the same process, we will do the similar calculation, and T1 comma 4 is 3. Now coming to the next value, which is T1 comma 5, that is, we can say, the second row and the second last column in our example. I here is 1, j is equals to 5. So value of I, which is value of 1, is 3 here, and weight of I, which is weight of 1, is 2. And in order to substitute, we will substitute the values. T1 comma 5 is equals to max of 3 plus t 0 comma 3 and t 0 comma 5, which is which ultimately comes up to 3. And then in this way we will be substituting our the second row also, which is I is equals to 2 and j is equals to 1. So now we have started finding t 2 comma 1, and in this 2 comma 1 here again we have encountered a term which is t 1 comma minus 2. So 1 comma minus 2, in any case index is negative, it is not available. So as I told that it is the whole term is to be ignored. So max of t 2 comma 1 is equals to max of t 1 comma 1, which is 0 basically. Then the second part, which is finding t 2 comma 2, we have seen with the same calculation it comes up to 3. 2 comma 3 is 4, while 2 comma 4 is 4 and 2 comma 5 is 7. So after filling all these values in this manner, we have calculated our, we have filled in our 0th row as 0, then we have calculated the first row, then we have calculated the second row also, and in the similar manner we will calculate our next two rows for this T table. So coming up to this T table, at the end of this T table, the last cell which we are having is having 7. So this last cell is going to give you the answer that what weight, what total weight we are going to carry in our, what total value, not weight, sorry, what total value we are going to carry in our knapsack. But that is fine, we are going to take the value as 7, but what are the items which are going to give me this value as 7? So for that we need to, in a way we can say backtrack the whole table, and we need to check out that from where this 7 is coming. So if you remember, or if you can recall, when we were calculating t of 2 comma 5, we have encountered it as t 2 comma 5 as max of t 2 t 1 comma 5 and 4 plus t 1 comma 2. So 4 plus t 1 comma 2 is 3. So 4 plus 3 is 7. So if you can see this term which is highlighted, which is t 1 comma 2, is giving you this that particular whole term is going to give you 4 plus 3, which is 7. So 1 comma 2 we can say is actually our solution which we are looking for. So we will be taking item number 1 and item number 2, whose weights are 2 and 3 and values are 3 and 4. So total value 7 we will be taking, with the capacity as 2 plus 3, weight as 5, and 2 items which are 1 and 2. So in this way we will be able to take the maximum value 7 along with items 1 and item 2. So in this way we will be solving this dynamic programming problem using one particular recurrence relation. So in this lecture we have seen that what actually dynamic programming is, and we have taken an example of 0-1 knapsack problem which is not being solved optimally under the approach of greedy algorithm, and because of that we have adopted the different approach which is dynamic programming, and we are able to solve those problems using dynamic programming approach, and we have seen it with the help of a complete example. Hope you have enjoyed the lecture. Thank you.